everyone. Today, let's discuss about our much awaited Guru Shishya component attached Prelims Test Series, which is going to commence on November 6th. Since the announcement of our program, we are flooded with queries with regard to our never seen before Guru Shishya program, which simplifies our prelims preparation by focusing on faculty assisted daily intense revision before each and every test. Many aspirants have also contacted us with lots of queries regarding prelims exam, mock test, and Guru Shishya program, and so on. So, guys, today let's deal all our queries with regard to this by an interactive session with our strategy mentor Nazib Zamir.
Okay, as she mentioned about Guru Shishya program, I'll tell you a story. You know, the most celebrated Guru Shishya Parampara in our epic is from Mahabharata. You guys know that, right? One day, Guru Dronacharya asked every Shishyas to assemble. He thought that he must test his Shishyas. He invited Shishyas by Shishyas, one by one. And the first one came. Guru asked, you stand in the shooting position. What do you see? And he was in his shooting position. Guru asked, what all do you see? You might have been aware of the story, right? So the first one started telling, I see the children playing on the ground, one uncle going to market to buy groceries, like a lady going to supply go. Like that, what all visuals he saw, he started explaining one by one. And finally he said that, I think there is a bird on that tree. Like that. This was his response. So Guru asked, okay, shoot. Did he hit? No. No way, right? Then came one by one after one, every Shishyas came. And finally came the maestro, the much celebrated Shishya in the history ever. Who is that? Arjuna. He also stood up in the shooting position. Guru asked, what do you see? He said, I see a bird's eye. That was his response. Guru asked, okay, shoot. Did he hit? Yes. Only he made that attempt successful. So before linking this story to our platform, the UPSC preparation, I must ask you all one thing. Just a doubt, how many of you guys are exhausting your attempt next year? I mean, how many of yours final attempt is next year? Nobody? Anybody? I think all of you must get out of this hall, because you guys are seeing everything. You guys want to attempt prelims every year. What I wanted is only those who see 2023 as the final attempt, the bird's eye. If you visualize yourself attempting the prelims year by year, like children playing on the ground, like squirrels, fruits, everything on the tree. If you are visualizing everything now, you will be attempting prelims year by year without making 2023 as your final attempt. So there are lessons from epics which we could relate very intimately to our story. So this is the point. Now shoot your question. Who want to ask first?
Sir, I'm really worried about my clearing prelims. And I always ask myself, what if I fail? And this question eats me from the inside. And this affects my preparation. What should I do?
See, this is one of the most important worry of prelims aspirants every year. What if I fail? What will I do? We know that we all have different dimensions. We have to look up family, at our friends, our relatives. We have many components in our life. So we always worry about these things. Let me tell you one thing. Why are you worrying about that? You may or may not be clearing, but why are you worrying it now? Because prelims is almost 1 year away. We have almost 8 months for prelims. And for our mains, we have almost 1 year. I mean, more than 1 year. So, if you are ready to rigidly follow what we say to you, you'll see the light of the day. I'll tell you how. many of the aspirants of Gallant IAS, I mean n number of aspirants, are currently working in different administrative departments of different states. Many of the students are currently on training at Labasna, Missouri. So, if we rigidly follow the Guru Shishya program, which starts on November 6th, what you will see is you'll start seeing the difference. I'll tell you with evidence. Because Guru Shishya program is not just the revision component attached with the test series. Guru Shishya means a way of life. Just like the story from our epic. Every Shishya will be assisted by a Guru till he sees the light of the day. I'll prove that now. From the time we started our Guru Shishya initiative, the first thing what we did is actually the micronote preparation strategy for the students to remove their pain of optional preparation. How many of you have benefited from that? Can you raise your hand? Yeah. So we have simplified the optional preparation in a way that we are using some codes and some cheat codes in their micronotes so that by the end of November they will be finishing their optional with crystal clear, simple micronotes. The second thing we have done is the way to revise Hindu newspaper. We all know that Hindu newspaper is an indispensable part for UPSC preparation. So what happens with everyone is that they are spending 3 to 4 hours for Hindu newspaper so that they can complete their preparation in the microwave by making notes from Hindu newspaper, by Google searching all the keywords that they are not understanding. So this is the way in which they do. So it's taking a lot of time. So as a part of our Guru Shishya program, what we have done is we have divided the newspaper into people in sitting in groups. Like if there are 10 people, we'll divide the different parts of newspaper to them. I mean, in the front page, we'll be dividing the first half and second half. So that one guy will be having just 2 articles to revise and read per day. He'll come prepared with that article. He'll be having the important points from that article. Similarly, everybody will be having 2 articles. They just need to study only that 2 articles from that Hindu newspaper in that day. That will be finished maybe in 10 to 15 minutes. And at the evening, we all will be sitting together and I'll be explaining my 2 articles because I'll be thorough with that article because I just did those 2 articles in that day. So similarly, everybody will be doing that. And what all points I have collected from my article, I'll share with you guys. Similarly, everybody else will do. So in a sitting of say 30 to 45 minutes, we'll be finishing that newspaper in the way UPSC demands. So this is one component of Guru Shishya program. So this is the way we move. So no one should be worried about clearing prelims because the day we start the first test, our first test will be on 6th November. So from November 1st, we will be starting the revision component of Guru Shishya program. It will be like this. Like you are sitting now, you will be assisted by a guru who will be sitting along with you. And what will happen is that if your test is on 6th November, from 1st November till 4th November, daily 3 hours, the guru will be explaining that week's syllabus. Topic by topic, he will brush up. He won't be elaborating it, but he'll brush up things to you. So that by the end of 4th day, you will be having maximum confidence to attend the 6th test. So this will be one component of Guru Shishya program. So this is a strategy. This is a way of life. And we are the masters of this program because we have done this multiple times. Many of our aspirants has cleared prelims year by year and many of the aspirants are currently working. So this will happen to you as well. Just follow the things that we instruct you religiously. Okay, we'll move to next question.
Sir, I'm a bit hesitant to write the mock test because I'm worried that if I get low marks, I'll be demotivated. So I'm not writing mock test because of that fear.
So he's saying that actually he's worried about taking mock test. Actually, you should understand first what is the science behind attempting a mock test. Actually, mock test is not to judge you. Mock test is a way of training. If I say for the first 7 to 8 mock test, even in our test, you may be scoring very less. Like you may be scoring very less in the sense that you may be clearing maybe 20 questions correct. So doesn't matter. Mock tests are to ensure that you are progressing in your studies. The way you progress in your concept clarity, the way you approach a question, these things will be judged in the mock test. So whether you are scoring more or less doesn't matter, because if you are scoring or topping the mock test and if you are not delivering in the original examination, there is no point. So mock test is a way. Mock test is a way to tune your thoughts in the UPSC way. For example, the Gallant IAS Guru Shishya program test series is prepared by experts in the very updated pattern of UPSC. You will feel that actually you will be writing the same UPSC examination. So it is in that tuned way. So what we will be doing is that the examiner, the person who prepared the question paper itself will come to you. They will tell the logic or the context in which this question is asked. You will be having 100 questions for every test, and you will be writing these tests in an OMR sheet in an exam-like environment. So what will happen is that you may be clearing maybe 50 questions, you may be making correct, and the remaining 50 questions, you may be skipping many questions, and remaining you will be getting negative marks. So what the guru will be doing is that he'll first discuss the test. Some questions may be directly from the books, some may be application kind of thing, some may be interlinking of the subjects, some may be logical elimination and reasoning. That kind of way you have to deal with the question. So what he will do is that after taking the discussion, he'll ask you to turn the page, to take the backside of the OMR sheet, and if you got the third question wrong, you will write number 3. Then he'll make you to think, when you got it wrong, what was the way in which you were thinking? What was the problem that made you make that question wrong? Maybe due to lack of concept clarity, maybe due to less number of revision made, maybe due to you thought in a different way rather than the demand of the question. So you will write it literally, so that you will be writing 50 reasons for the 50 questions that you either skipped or made negative. So what will happen is that just before you attempt the next mock test, you will see these 50 reasons why you made a question wrong. So can you visualize that just before attempting a new test, you are seeing that in the previous test I thought in these ways and I got that question wrong. So 50 ways of making a question wrong is eliminated from your thoughts. You understood these ways were wrong. So at least in those 50 ways you won't be making a question wrong in the very next test. This will happen question paper by question paper. So after each and every question paper, your way of thinking will be fine-tuned as per the demand of the examination. And for those questions you lack the concept clarity, you will be making sure that you take those respective tests, or you will be taking the discussion paper of every test, and you will be marking, okay, this question had this more one more dimension which I was not knowing. For example, this year UPSC asked question about mandamus in polity. Mandamus is a writ, So it was kind of an application question. So if in a test series you are getting a question the application point of view from mandamus or certiorari or any other writ, what you will be doing is that you will take the Lakshmikant, okay, you will mark it like this, okay, a question asked in this way. Actually that dimension is there in Lakshmikant, but when you read it, you didn't strike that dimension. So you will mark it. And the thing is that you won't be repeating that mistake from mandamus ever in your life. So this will happen to every topic. And I'll tell you, though officially we have declared that we'll be having just 34 tests for our Gallant, this Guru Shishya program, but practically what will happen as we move on, presently we have a test in every 6 days, but slowly what will happen is that we'll be conducting one test in every 3 days as we are moving close to the exam. And when we are 2 weeks before the examination, we'll be doing daily test. So I promise you that you all will be attempting at least 100 tests before the prelims. In every test, you will be doing these course correction activities by eliminating the way in which you made things wrong, like that. So the 101 test, I mean, you have attempted 100 mock tests, and the 101 test will be your real prelims test. So you will feel like attempting another mock test. So the fear of examination will be completely eliminated from your mind. So this will happen. So what we advise is that whatever you study, don't hesitate to attempt the test, because prelims is more about practice. So nobody should be thinking about like skipping the test, because as a part of our revision component, we are already revising you each and every topic of that week's test. So by the end of fourth day, you are already confident about the test. You are worried now because the program is yet to begin. So that worry will be eliminated. Don't worry. We'll move to next question.
So what if I am if I am putting my 10% effort into preparation with minimal rest and with taking the minimal entertainment or with no entertainment at all. So if I am able to do all that, will I be able to score at least? Will I be able to attempt at least 65 questions accurately?
So what he is asking is that if he is putting 100% hard work by taking minimum rest, minimum sleep, ignoring all entertainments, will he be able to accurately attempt at least 65 questions in the prelims exam? This is his question. Very interesting. Let me tell you one thing. In the real prelims exam, you will be getting only 30% questions directly. Whatever you study, the direct question like Article 21 deals with what? Or right to privacy comes under which article? This kind of direct questions will be only 30% of the paper. The remaining questions you will be solving. How? By the rigorous training that you are getting, by the concept clarity you are making, by interlinking the subjects. Presently, if I may say that actually, if they are asking a question about, say, glacial lake outburst or cloud burst, actually this question interlinks geography and environment. So through your rigorous training practice, what you will be gaining is that you will be able to quickly interlink multiple subjects so that you can reach the correct statement. Okay, from the given statements you will be reaching the correct answer. But this is not bookish. This is by this training and fine tuning of your thoughts, this thing is happening. So this is where the working aspirants has something to do. Actually, previously many of the years, the working aspirants were more worried because they are feeling that actually they are devoting very less number of hours comparing to the full-fledged aspirants. Okay, this was the worry. But now UPSC has ensured that the working aspirants has also a place in this examination. I'll tell you how. Because the demand of this year's, the current era's exam is that you have to keep your sources minimum. Revise it again and again. Practice the things that you are studying. So if a working aspirant can keep his resource minimal and he can revise things. According to me, for a working aspirant, he can devote even minimum 3 hours. If he can devote minimum 3 hours daily on a consistent basis, by having that intense passion towards this exam, he can clear this. Because it's more about practice. He can practice it once in 3 days he can attend a test, and remaining day he can devote just 3 hours. Actually, this is where Gallant IAS is finding a space, because we welcome every kind of aspirants, not only the full-fledged aspirants, but the working aspirants and the people who are having many other limitations. We have customized solutions for every kind of people. So what we advise is that don't ignore any components of your life for UPSC preparation. Don't ignore your family. Don't compromise the entertainment or relaxation aspect, because this is not just an examination. UPSC do not want any bookworms. Actually, many people have this false notion that UPSC is for the people who devote 18 hours per day, like that. Actually, people who devote 18 hours per day are not clearing this examination, because they will be studying everything under the sun. Every source of materials they are getting, they are studying. But what will happen is that they are getting just 30% of the question to be solved from those things they have studied. And their remaining questions are surprises for them. So what will happen is that they will instantly feel demotivated. So they'll think like, okay, this thing is not my cup of tea because I've put all my efforts and I'm unable to clear. They'll be sure that nobody would have put that much effort like them, but yet they are unable to crack the examination. But what the working aspirants will do, they'll study minimum, they will revise it multiple times, and finally, due to their intense training with minimum resources, they are able to clear this examination. So this is the thing. What this exam actually demands. If you observe the question paper, as I said, you are getting only 30% of the questions directly from the books. Remaining are decision making kind of stuff. This is the thing that is expected from a bureaucrat. See, India is not a resource rich nation. We are having many constraints. Our budget is limited, our resources are limited, our population are not that skilled. Okay, so every bureaucrat has to deliver from within these constraints. In a UPSC examination, the same thing is given. Like, you will be having very less resource in your hand from the things that you prepared. Remaining are actually you are using all your skills to reach that answer. What a bureaucrat will be doing, he will be having multiple responsibilities at the same time. Finally, what he'll be doing is that he'll be finding a solution from what all minimum resources he is having. So UPSC examination is a cross section of life of a bureaucrat. So whoever who is able to make quick decisions with the minimal resources, he'll be able to clear this examination. This training is being given in Guru Shishya program. So don't think that actually you should not take rest or you should not have any fun and all. You should have all the fun. You should have adequate amount of sleep. You should have adequate amount of hanging out with friends. You should be talking every day to your family and your favorite ones, and you should be preparing. So that should be the mode in which we prepare for the UPSC examination, and that is the exact way in which this Guru Shishya program is designed. Okay, we'll move to next question.
I'm worried about finishing the syllabus before the test. Since I have to read the basic books, newspaper, optional, etc. So I won't able to finish it on time. And previously I used to skip the exams to study.
So she is worried about finishing the syllabus before every test. And she's saying that actually she used to postpone the test or skip the test. I mean the weekly mock test. Because she has not finished her syllabus for that weekly test. Let me ask you one thing. Today there was a strategy session for our mains today morning. How many of you have attended that session? Okay. Many of you have attempted and many of you have skipped the session because there was a CSAT test today evening. So this thing is happening. Let me tell you one thing. Prelims is having a very massive syllabus. And even nobody can say that one question came out of syllabus. They can ask anything under the sun, but it's not humanly possible to finish all the dimensions of the syllabus. It is not humanly possible. Nobody who clears the examination are thorough about everything under the sun. But it's a strategy. I can prove this by an example. This year or last year, they have asked a question about Saint Francis and Jesuit Foundation. And I'm just asking you, since they asked this question this year, will you be studying all religious saints, their missions, their foundations, not only from Christianity, but from Hinduism, Islam, Parsi, something? You'll be studying everything? No. And the very next year or the same year, they have asked questions about some players of golf and some Formula 1 race and some tennis players and all. So for that, would you be studying all sports or the history of all sports players and all? Is it possible? It is not possible. Because what I say is actually, when this question came and the response from our students, the students of Gallant IAS, actually they were very happy because they were trained to face such surprises. They were not like they had no clue about these Jesuit foundation or golf players and all, but they cleared that question. They got it right. How? That is training. Because UPSC like thinks that actually when they ask some question, it is not something that they want to like worry you or something like that. They just want to identify the loophole in that question and like strike that loophole, take an immediate decision. Okay, this is the way in which this question has to be approached. So like in that way our students approach and they got the answer. So this comes through intense training. So what I'm saying is actually, if you are thinking that actually like by covering all the syllabus portions only I can like go and attempt the test, like you will be year by year like studying everything under the sun and you will be facing these surprises. So what we suggest is that keep your resources minimum, practice more, fine tune your thoughts with the assistance of our gallant guru, and you won't be having any surprises in the test. You know, our history is that most of our students will be attempting more than 92 questions every year. This happens because they are trained to like face any surprises. They will be clearing all the subject questions which demands concept clarity. They will be having all logics and reasoning ability to face all the surprises. So this is the thing. I think I have answered that question. We'll move to the next question.
So, what all additional magazines or books should I read to excel in?
So she's asking about the resources. What all materials like she should be having, whether she should do many magazines like people say in UPSC industry, many newspaper. I know personally many people who reads like Hindu, Indian Express, Times of India, I mean every day. So like we are not city robot to do all these things. We are not Rajinikanth sir. Okay, so this is not possible humanly, and this is not expected from any of you. Do you want to hear the winner's mantra? It is that they just read the basic books. They'll be highlighting the basic books for the important points. Our students will be following the minimum materials provided by Gallant IAS and one single newspaper. Basic books, our materials, single newspaper. Nothing more than this. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. If you are following any other magazines or any other resources, I'm telling you, you are overdoing. And UPSC is not an exam for the people who overdo things. UPSC is an exam for those who keep their resources minimum, revise it multiple times, practice. You know, Gandhiji during the freedom struggle, his mantra was struggle, truce, struggle. Okay. So likewise, learn, practice, learn, practice. That is our mantra. We won't ask you to read multiple magazines. I promise you that whoever religiously follows this, just basic books like NCRTs and basic books like Lakshmikant or Goching Leong or the basic books of economy, and just the minimum material that we provide you. We are not providing you like big booklets. We are providing you small PDFs after every session. That PDFs, the basic books and just one newspaper. If you are ready to keep your resources this minimum, and if you are attempting every mock test without failing, like without skipping the mock test, you will be there in the like flux next year. Okay, that's my promise. Next question.
Sir, what if UPSC changes the pattern and if exam become more tougher?
So her question is that what if UPSC like changes the pattern and the exam becomes tough? I'll tell you one thing. If the exam is tough, it is tough for everyone, not only you. And you know, from our history, what we see is that our aspirants were more happy during those years when the others say that exams were tough. You know, who are those people who say that exam is tough or the paper was tough? Every year, like those who have attempted prelims can see that like many of the aspirants are coming out of the exam hall heartbroken. They are telling that no, this is paper was tough, so cutoff will be like less, like that they will be telling. Actually, those will be the people who devoted more time for studying, who skipped the test for studying. So what our students like did was actually they were trained to like solve the questions by interlinking the subject more through reasoning, more through common sense, more through logics, by application of the knowledge they are having. See, I told you that our test is designed in such a way that every knowledge that you studied, that will be coming as an applied question, just like the way UPSC asks. So we are not copy pasting a fact from the text and asking you as a question. Just like the way UPSC asks, we'll make that question as an application question, so that you'll be know all the dimensions from which a question can come. So you won't be having any surprises, and you will be having the same kind of logical reasoning based questions like the way UPSC asks. You will be having same thing in our question paper itself. So like you will be ready to face any of the pattern, whatever be the pattern change, that does not affects you, because you are not only depending on the knowledge part, but you are trained to face these surprises. So don't worry about like UPSC changing the pattern or something like that, because we are investing in skills, not only in knowledge. Okay, so one who is having the skills, he will be having like, see, like what we have seen is that the year the people say that exam is tough, we see that those who regularly attempt like 80 to 85 questions, our students, they started attempting 90 to 95, because they are getting like more opportunity to like exhibit the skills that they were trained for. So you will experience the same thing once we start our Guru Shishya program. Don't worry. Next question.
How many questions should we attempt in a test series as well as in main exam to clear cutoff?
So what she is asking is, what should be the ideal number of questions which one should attempt in the prelims examination to clear the cutoff? See, actually this is a very subjective question, and the number of questions that one should ideally attempt, that depends on the person itself, because there will be a range for everyone in which that person will be arriving at after many mock tests. I will tell you how. I personally know many people who consistently attempt more than 90 questions every year. Even I was that sort of an aspirant. Every year I will be attempting around 96, 97 questions. And not only me, many of our students of Gallant IAS do this. The thing is that we will be getting many negatives, but we will clear the cutoff because we have attempted more questions, and comparing to that, negatives will be less. And there will be another set of aspirants who will be having an ability to attempt consistently around 75 to 76, 77 range questions, and they will be also clearing the cutoff because their accuracy will be more than the people who attempt more than 90 plus. So this accuracy will be coming through more number of practice tests. One thing I will tell you, you just asked how many, like how should you decide, how, like what is your range? In the first few tests you will be attempting like say 75 questions, then second test you will be attempting maybe 90 questions, and third test you will be attempting around maybe 65, or like different ranges you will be attempting. And by the end of 10th test and all, you will come to know a pattern that when I was attempting in this range, I am getting comfortable amount of marks. Okay, and when I started attempting less, I'm like going beyond the cutoff. I'm getting less marks than cutoff. And when I'm attempting more than this range, again I'm scoring less. So you will come to know that your range is somewhere in between, say 85 to 90 or 80 to 85. And you will identify that range, and from the upcoming test and all, you will be attempting in that range, and you will find yourself comfortable in that range. So no need to ask anyone or no need to follow any YouTube channel to understand what should be the number of questions that you should attempt, because that will come out organically. You will slowly realize what is your comfortable range. So in that range you will excel. This is the way like top. So this is one caution also, because when you see the YouTube channel and all, the toppers will say that like if I'm if I'm a topper sitting in like giving an interview, I'll be telling that okay, I used to attempt every year say like 99 questions, and some topper will be saying that no, I'll be attempting only like 75 around questions, but you don't know their background, right? So this is all like subjective part. Actually, you should understand for yourself what is your comfortable range. So in that range you will excel. So that will come automatically once you practice more. Don't worry about that. Next question.
So I can attend only about 45 to 50 questions in prelims now, and I get a lot of negatives out of it. So what can I do to actually increase my accuracy and attempts, sir?
So this is like another set of important doubt that aspirants are having, because like from after 2 weeks you will be like beginning to write your test. So in the initial test what you will be facing is that you will be able to attempt say maybe like very less number, maybe 45 to 50, like that. In that range you will be attempting, and out of the 40 questions maybe you will be getting 20 questions wrong, you will be just getting 20 questions correct. Okay, so what normally happens is that people instantly start comparing with others. Okay, like they like got this many number of questions correct, but I got only this much correct. Actually the experience, from our experience, from the experience of Gallant IAS, I'm saying we welcome these kind of people who are consistently scoring very less marks. See, that is heroism, right? Like if we are getting like a guy who has cleared prelims multiple times, written many mains, and who is joining like one of our program, and we are making him clear, and we are like saying to others that okay, we made him clear. There is no like happiness in that. We are specialized in making people from zero to heroes. So we welcome all those people who are having the like who are at this stage of their life, like scoring very less, attempting very less number of questions. Like then only we can show the way. We can train you from the scratch. We don't expect you to have any basic knowledge. We welcome everyone who is having zero knowledge about UPSC examination, zero knowledge about any subject, because the way we designed our program, our faculties are those people who came across all these stages. Most of the faculties, I mean all of the faculties, have written mains multiple times. Okay, and we have many of the faculties who are even like waiting for interview this year. Like after the declaration of mains result, they are sure that they will be attending the interview. So that sort of people are training you. So when you say that, sir, I scored less, they can very well understand where do you lack, because they also traveled through this path. So we more welcome such people. Like we want to see that actually you guys are making us proud. So we will be giving that sort of a training to you. Actually, many of the like online students who are actually working, they say that, sir, actually we are getting very minimum amount of time to study and all. And when we start writing mock tests, we are like a bit like fearful, because like we are consistently scoring less. So what we do is that we have a very customized schedule. We have dedicated mentors for those who are scoring very less, for those who are working. So like for those who are coming from socially very disadvantaged position, we have specialized mentors for them. They will be available maybe 24/7. Some students are studying during night. So our faculties, to their mentors, they will say that, sir, I am studying at night. So this mentor will not be putting his phone in silent mode, so that when this student calls at night, he will be available. That much dedication you will get here. That mentor will be for you, accessible to you any time of the day. So this is where this is why people prefer Gallant IAS. We have that many number of working aspirants and people who are coming from very rural part of like the state. I mean from different states. They are participating in online mode, because they are getting this grassroots level like training. From the scratch we are building them up, so that they are also like reaching Missouri with the very next year. So don't worry about that. We'll move to the next question.
Sir, I'm afraid of taking mock test. Is any other ways to more exciting and interesting to take mock test?
So he's asking a very interesting question. Actually, many students asked me this question. They are feeling like mock test as a dreadful one. They are worried and fearful about mock test, and if they get an opportunity, they will skip the test. So what they are asking is that, is there any way to make mock test writing more interesting? So I'll tell you. I mean, you may see this as a funny thing, but from experience we are telling. Just see yourself as a case investigation officer, or like Sherlock Holmes, or our favorite Seduramayar. You have a few number of statements in front of you. These are actually the possible criminals. Okay, you will be having a set of evidences in your mind. Okay, from many of the subjects you have studied, from many of the logical training that you were given. So as an officer, or as an as a judge, your role will be to use all the evidences to find the culprit, I mean the correct answer. So in the first test, I mean in the first case, if you are failing to bring all the evidences to reach the correct criminal, go back, collect more evidences from the books, from your mentors, from your peer group people, gather all the skills and evidences, then come back. Next question, I mean next test, see those questions. At that time you will be more skilled, you will be having more evidences in your hand, you will like spot the criminal, your processing speed would have been improved over the exercise that you have done after that test which failed you. Okay, so in this way you can make the mock test more interesting. And I should tell you one thing. When you get least score in a test, for example, if you are the one who is getting the least number of score, I mean least marks in a test, you should be proudly saying to others that I got the least marks. Okay, when you do this 2-3 times, that shame will go away. Okay, you won't be shy. Otherwise, no, you will look like a coward. You will be scooting. Okay, like all others who studied with me got this many marks. Okay, next time I'll make sure that I'm not attending the test itself. But you should say that this record is with me. Okay, I got the minimum marks. You know what's the advantage of that? One thing, you don't want to impress anyone. Second thing, you will be given more training. You just imagine two persons scored less number of marks, I mean less marks in a test. One is proudly saying that I got the least. The second one is trying to justify himself or herself that okay, I studied everything, but due to some errors this happens. They'll be starting to justify their poor performance. But the mentor, what will be thinking? The mentor will be thinking that okay, she might have accidentally lost many of the questions. Okay, she know everything. Okay, so she won't be given, or he won't be given that kind of more assistance. But one who is proud enough to say that okay, I got the least mark, without any shame, she can ask for assistance to anyone, any friends or any mentor or any faculty, to anyone, without any shame he can ask. So only for that crying baby will be given the milk. Okay, so I've seen for myself, I was one such a person. That's why I told this example. In the beginning I was working as a manager in a bank, and in the initial attempts I faced this thing. I was not a full-fledged aspirant, so I was not having that extra edge over the others. So when I used to go to the institute once in a while in a week. I mean, not every week also it was possible. So initially I was much hesitant to sit in front of the people when mark sheet were given. Okay, I used to get the minimum marks, but slowly I understood that if I sit in this way, I'll be sitting with this ego with my life, for my life. So I started asking for assistance. I started asking every person who got if you got one question correct, I got wrong, I'll come to you. Okay, what was your thought process? I'll go to many people without any shame and shyness. The very next attempt I started clearing, because I was given more assistance, not only from my mentor, not only from my friends, from more people. So that was a way of dealing with this exam, dealing with the mock test and all. So don't worry about the failures or less number of questions that you are attempting. Be ready to be ready in a mood so that you can attempt. If you are given attempt any test, even if you are given a question paper now, you should be ready to answer it. You should not say that no, I didn't study like that, because you should be exam ready every moment. So this is that question. Any other question?
Sir, which is the ideal time to take a mock test? Should I study or cover all the topics before taking a mock test?
This question is an assemblage of two questions. One, when to study, when to take a mock test. This is also a subjective question because different people are having efficiencies in different time of the day. Working aspirants prefer night. Full-fledged aspirants prefer the daytime. So one cannot say that this is the ideal time to study, but you should be cautioned in one point, like your exams is in daytime, be it in the mock test or in the real exam. Exams are not in night. So if you are every day you are following the nighttime schedule for studying, what you will face is, if you are not able to change the routine when you are near to the examination, you will be feeling sleepy in the exam hall. You won't be able to concentrate because prelims is all about presence of mind. So if the day before examination or if the week before examination, if you have not changed the study time, your mind will be sleeping. Your eyes will be open, but the mind would be sleeping. So this can cause the negative effect for your examination. This will be more evident when you attempt the mains examination, because mains is not a single day play. Mains means first 3 days you will be having essay, in the second day you will be having GS1, GS2, third day you will be having GS3, GS4. After 5 days you will be having 2 qualifying papers, then 2 optional papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So if you were studying at night and sleeping during the day for the days before the examination, you won't be able to handle. You will not be having that focus during the examination. So this can also affect your concentration. So even if you are studying at night, no issues. Only thing you should remember is that when you are close to the examination, you should change the cycle. That's it. There is no other strict time for one to be advised whether it is a daytime or nighttime. Okay, it can be customized, but this caution should be there in your mind. Okay, next question.
Sir, I have seen a lot of topper section on how they cleared the exam, but I feel like I lack the skill and knowledge for that. How can I overcome?
So his question is that he had seen many toppers talk, and in many of the toppers talk, people say wonderful things in toppers talk, and it would be very fascinated, and people like us, normal aspirants who are yet to clear the examination, what we'll feel is actually, oh, they are talking very big things. Some people will say that I have cleared this exam in 3 months. Okay, they may be exceptional, but we don't want to compete with exceptional people. We are competing with the majority. Majority people are not exceptional, but normal aspirants like us. So what will happen is that when you see this toppers talk, they won't be focusing on the failed attempts. They'll be focusing on the attempt in which they have cleared. Many people will be clearing in their 4th or 5th or 6th attempt. Okay, but they won't be many people won't talk about these failed attempts, and we are seeing only the brighter side of their journey. So this will happen, but you should understand that nobody's life is painless. There was there is a quote, famous quote by Japanese writer Murakami. He says that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Pain will come in everybody's life. Even in the toppers' life, they would have faced many struggles from their family, from their preparation. In the initial years, they would have scored less. Okay, many of their friends might have got settled, but they used to repeat the prelims main cycle every year. But what made them topper is that even though they had this pain, they opted not to suffer. They decided that I'm not ready to bog down in front of this pain. Have you heard about Ira Singhal? She was having huge disability, yet she topped the examination. So there are no limitations for human abilities. Whatever the toppers say, you can take only those things that you can absorb in your preparation. just ignore the exceptional things that they are saying, like I have cleared this in 3 months kind of stuff. Maybe there are people like that, but that is not the general case. So don't worry about the toppers talk. Just ruthlessly follow the things that we advise you to do. That's the solution for like those who worry about the toppers talk. Next question. Any question?
Sir, what's so special about our Guru Shishya program component of Prelims Test Series?
So Guru Shishya program, actually, as she said in the intro, we are flooded with inquiries about Guru Shishya program from the time we have announced this. You know what's so special about this program? Even from North India and from Northeast, we are getting so much calls when they have seen the brochure, because this is the one and only revision assisted prelims test series in India. In India, I'm saying. Here what we focus is that whoever comes to us barehanded, without having any knowledge about UPSC, without having any knowledge about any of the subject, they just complete their graduation, they come to us. What we will be doing is that, apart from the daily classes, we'll devise a strategy not only for the test series but for the entire way of preparation. I'll tell you how. One important feature of Guru Shishya is that before every prelims test series, for example, as I said, you will be having 3 to 4 days revision for daily 3 hours. That is one feature. Second thing is that about covering basic books. This is the most like painful part of the UPSC preparation for the initial aspirants, I mean, who are attempting for the first time. Because when they come to an institute or when they start preparing in a reading room or something like some environment like that, what they see is that others are exam ready every time because they have covered the basic books. They might have given prelims attempt before, so they have a hang of this exam. But the freshers will be fresh. They are not having like the basic books in their head and all. So to address this concern, what we will be doing is actually in 2 or 3 days we will be starting the basic book strategy. For example, you guys will be divided into team of say 10, and I will be giving you one NCERT, and your responsibility is to study only that NCERT. What you will be doing is that you will be highlighting that NCERT, important points. You will be understanding the crux of each chapter. Each of the 10 people in the group will do the same exercise. They will be given different NCERTs and different basic books. So their responsibility is to study only that text, which they can finish in say 3 days or so. Finally, we'll assemble and one person who is having say themes in Indian history. If I am given themes in Indian history, that NCERT if I am having, I'll be having the highlighted version. Maybe if I'm having the highlighted PDF, I'll share first that thing with all of you. I'll take the crux of the I'll share the crux of each chapter to you, so that you will be given the highlighted points and the summary of each chapter, so that in 1 or 2 sittings everybody will be fully having the command over that NCERT. Next day, next NCERT. Everybody will be sitting together and the second guy will be explaining that NCERT, so that no other person need to read that book again, because my responsibility is this NCERT only. So I can be the expert in that NCERT, so that I can deliver that very well to you. So in 10 days or 12 days, your basic books, I mean the basic NCERTs would be done without reading all the books. So this is a strategy. This is for the basic books reading. For the Hindu newspaper, I have already explained, like articles will be divided in everyday newspaper, so that 1 or 2 article only need to be read by every aspirant. And evening we'll sit together and we'll be sharing the insights and we'll be sharing the points. So you'll be getting surplus amount of time. Like before, many people ask, should I compromise my rest, my fun, my entertainments, my social gatherings and all? No, because you will be having sufficient amount of time, because you will be doing in a division of labor way. 10 people will be dividing your job, okay, and you will be given the cream of it. You need not struggle in those areas. And we will be starting more initiatives like Cotton with Gallant IAS. Cotton means, for the sake of online and North Indian students, I am saying black tea with Gallant IAS. This will be our night sessions after the daily classes. Like, you guys could relate in our school days and all, in our college days and all, when we are near to the examination, for those people who struggle, they will be conducting special classes, like maybe after 7 o'clock in evening or after 8 o'clock. We'll be sitting with the tea and all, like we'll be like a social gathering. We'll give like special emphasis to those important areas or where you lack, kind of thing. Okay, this kind of innovative this thing will make like us more bonded together. It will improve the efficiency of the teamwork. Okay, so these kind of initiatives you can expect that will be rolled out very soon. So that like what I'm saying is, actually this is not just an academy or institute. This is your family, and by the end of this cycle of revision and preparation, and like by the end of the Guru Shishya program, everybody will be clear with the demands of the examination. And I promise you that if you are 100% cooperating with us, with what all things we instruct you, whether it is the basic book strategy, like somebody will be choosing to like study it individually, but he'll be having that option, but he'll be having the same option here as well. We are not compelling anyone. We are not saying that individual study is harmful, it's a harmful thing or something like that, because some people will be having efficiency in individual study. Okay, you are welcome in that way as well. But if you are following our strategy religiously, what all things we provide, we'll make sure that whoever is not clearing in any other institute or anywhere in the country, you guys will see the light. You guys will be given the assurance that you will be writing the very next year's prelims, and you will be writing many mains, and you will be reaching the interview, because we will be soon starting our mains answer writing program and mains note making program. We won't insist you to start answer writing now, but what we'll do is that we'll be taking each and every topic for the mains. We'll divide those important topics to you guys, and you guys will be preparing the important points for each of the topic. For example, anti-defection law. Anti-defection law, if you are taking, if I'm giving one that topic to you, what you will be writing is that your material or the online sources will be having many pages about anti-defection law, but your note will be having only 4 or 5 points. One constitution article about anti-defection law, 2 Supreme Court judgments regarding that, and like recent crisis in some state, maybe in Maharashtra and Karnataka, we faced the crisis due to defection. You will write 1 or 2 examples, like that is sufficient for that topic. This kind of to the point like mains note making will be rolling out soon as a part of the Guru Shishya program. So if you are like completely cooperating with us with complete confidence on and complete conviction about what we say, you will be like visible in the next year's like toppers interview. That's our assurance. So the final word I should tell you is that don't see UPSC preparation as like any other examination. This is a journey. This is a journey for life. I'll tell you from the examples of many of the aspirants we have seen over the years. When they started the preparation, they were very aggressive, like they were short-tempered, like many defects in their personality. But over the years, they started valuing the time, they started valuing human emotions, and the change were reflected in their personality, their value system, their behavior, their attitude about life, their attitude about failures and all. You know, they say that failures are the best teachers. So failures teaches us many things. So this kind of transformation is easily achievable in UPSC preparation. So don't worry about the result, just enjoy the process, be in the moment, and like whatever be your background, whatever be your knowledge level, join our initiative, give us your hand, we'll make you fly. Thank you.